Have you ever watched the clock ticking at 3 a.m., wondering why sleep, a gift we took for granted in our youth, becomes so elusive in old age? You're not alone. Millions of older adults around the world lie awake night after night, feeling the quiet ache of fatigue and longing for the peace that only a full night's sleep can bring. But here's the truth. While sleep patterns naturally change with age, persistent insomnia and restless nights are not an inevitable part of getting older. There are natural, evidence-based ways to reclaim restful sleep, without relying on medications that often come with unwanted side effects. Sleep is essential for both the body and the mind. In older adults, deep sleep plays a critical role in memory consolidation, immune system support, and emotional balance. When we don't get enough restorative sleep, it affects everything: our mood, our appetite, our energy levels, even our risk of developing serious conditions like heart disease and dementia. So the question becomes, what exactly is disrupting our sleep in old age, and how can we change that naturally? Let's begin with something simple yet often overlooked: the body's internal clock, or circadian rhythm. This biological timer regulates when we feel sleepy and when we feel awake. As we age, this rhythm becomes less responsive, often causing older adults to feel sleepy earlier in the evening and wake up far too early in the morning. One powerful natural way to reset this clock is through exposure to natural light, especially in the morning. A 2014 study from the University of Colorado found that just 1 week of exposure to natural light during the day helped participants shift their circadian rhythms and sleep more soundly at night. For elderly individuals, even a short morning walk in the sunlight or sitting near a bright window can make a significant difference. Another major factor is activity level. With retirement often comes reduced movement during the day. Muscles become less active, the mind less stimulated, and as a result, the body doesn't build up the sleep pressure it needs to feel deeply tired at night. Engaging in light physical activity, such as gentle stretching, gardening, or even Tai Chi, has been shown to significantly improve sleep quality in older adults. In fact, a landmark study published in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine found that older adults who engaged in regular, moderate-intensity exercise reported falling asleep faster and experiencing longer, less disrupted sleep compared to their sedentary peers. Now let's talk about something deeply personal: emotions. Anxiety, grief, and loneliness are powerful sleep disruptors, especially in later life. The loss of a spouse, the growing distance from children, or the fear of declining health can all weigh heavily on the mind. These emotions may be quiet during the day, but often grow loud at night. And when the lights go off, the thoughts come rushing in. Dr. Sonia Ankoli Israel, a renowned sleep researcher at the University of California, San Diego, found that older adults experiencing depression or chronic worry are significantly more likely to suffer from insomnia. One natural method to address this emotional barrier is mindfulness and deep breathing practices before bed. Guided imagery, soft music, or simply journaling your thoughts in a notebook can help quiet the mind and bring a sense of closure to the day. What you consume also plays a crucial role in how you sleep. Caffeine and alcohol, two very common substances, are often misunderstood when it comes to sleep in older adults. While a cup of tea or a glass of wine may seem relaxing, caffeine lingers in the body much longer with age and alcohol. Although initially sedating, fragments sleep and prevents deeper sleep stages. Instead, warm caffeine-free teas like chamomile or valerian root, known for their calming properties, can gently support sleep without harm. In some cultures, a glass of warm milk with a touch of honey has been a trusted bedtime ritual, and for good reason. Milk contains tryptophan, an amino acid that helps produce serotonin, a precursor to the sleep hormone melatonin. Speaking of melatonin, it's worth noting that as we age, the body produces less of this important hormone. This drop can make falling and staying asleep more difficult. While melatonin supplements are widely available and relatively safe in small doses, many sleep specialists suggest encouraging your body's own natural production instead. This can be done by keeping the sleep environment dark at night and minimizing blue light from screens before bedtime. Dimming the lights an hour before sleep and avoiding electronic devices can send the signal to your brain that it's time to wind down. A comfortable sleep environment is just as important as anything else. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to temperature, noise, and mattress support. The National Institute on Aging recommends a cool, quiet room with soft bedding and a comfortable, supportive mattress tailored to your needs. Even the smallest changes, like blackout curtains, a white noise machine, or a weighted blanket, can have an enormous impact on sleep quality. True stories reflect these principles in action. Take Margaret, an 82-year-old retired nurse from Manchester who struggled with insomnia for nearly a decade. After reading about light exposure and circadian rhythms, she began taking her morning tea outside in her garden, rain or shine. Within 2 weeks, she noticed a dramatic improvement in her sleep. Or consider Jean-Pierre from southern France, age 77, who had difficulty sleeping due to loneliness after his wife passed away. He began keeping a nightly journal and joined a local walking club. The emotional connection and physical activity brought a renewed sense of peace and with it, a return to restful nights. Improving sleep in old age isn't about chasing youth. It's about honoring the body's changing rhythms and responding with compassion and care. Sleep doesn't have to be a nightly struggle. With patience, awareness, and simple natural changes, it can become a source of healing and strength once again. And if you're caring for someone elderly, remember this. A good night's sleep is not just a luxury for them, it's a foundation for a better life. The twinkle in their eye, the energy in their step, and the calm in their voice all begin with one thing: rest. And it's never too late to find it again. There's another important truth we often forget. Sleep is not just a physical state, but a deeply personal experience tied to our identity, routines, and memories. For many older adults, nighttime can evoke a quiet sense of loss, the absence of a partner in bed, the silence of an empty home, the worry of whether the body will be kind tomorrow. Sleep struggles in this way become more than a biological issue. They are emotional, spiritual, and deeply human. Understanding this can help us approach sleep improvement with a sense of compassion rather than frustration. One aspect often underestimated is the impact of routine. The body craves rhythm. When sleep and wake times vary widely, even by just an hour or two, it confuses the brain's internal clock and disrupts natural sleep hormones like melatonin and cortisol. One of the simplest and most effective natural strategies for improving sleep in older age is setting a consistent sleep schedule. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends, helps train the brain to expect rest at certain times. Over time, this habit builds strong sleep signals in the brain, making it easier to fall asleep and stay asleep. Evening habits also play a significant role. Older adults often find themselves dozing off in front of the television or taking long afternoon naps. While a brief nap of 20 to 30 minutes can be refreshing, anything longer or too late in the day can disrupt nighttime sleep. According to the Mayo Clinic, limiting naps and reserving the bed exclusively for sleep helps reinforce the mental association between the bed and restfulness. If the bed becomes a place for worry, TV, or phone scrolling, the brain starts to connect it with stimulation rather than relaxation. Nutrition in the evening is another area to consider. Heavy, spicy, or acidic meals too close to bedtime can cause indigestion or heartburn, especially in older adults with sensitive digestive systems. This discomfort can lead to repeated nighttime awakenings. Instead, light dinners that include sleep-promoting nutrients, such as magnesium, potassium, and calcium, can support the body's natural relaxation processes. Leafy greens, bananas, nuts, seeds, and oatmeal are excellent choices. Magnesium in particular, which is found in almonds, spinach, and pumpkin seeds, plays a role in calming the nervous system. Several clinical studies have linked magnesium deficiency to insomnia, particularly in older adults. Hydration also matters, but with caution. Older adults are more prone to waking up during the night to use the bathroom, a condition known as nocturia. To minimize this, it helps to drink adequate fluids throughout the day, but reduce intake 1 to 2 hours before bedtime. This balances hydration needs without putting pressure on the bladder during sleep hours. Technology has brought many conveniences, but it's also introduced new challenges to sleep. The blue light emitted by smartphones, tablets, and even LED light bulbs has been shown to interfere with melatonin production. As we age, the eyes become less efficient at filtering this light, making the effects even more pronounced. Creating a wind-down routine that includes reading a physical book, listening to calming music, or practicing gentle stretches in dim light can help signal the body that sleep is approaching. Harvard researchers have shown that even 30 minutes of screen-free time before bed can dramatically improve sleep onset and quality. Let's also not forget about the emotional reassurance that comes with routine rituals. In many cultures, bedtime is not just about turning off the lights. It's a sacred ritual of slowing down. A warm bath with Epsom salts, for example, not only soothes muscles, but also helps reduce core body temperature afterward, which naturally induces drowsiness. In one Japanese study, older adults who took a warm bath 1 to 2 hours before bed fell asleep faster and had fewer nighttime awakenings. These moments of calm, care, and stillness carry power that science is only beginning to measure. Sleep is also a time when the brain performs essential maintenance. During deep sleep, toxins are flushed from the brain in a process known as the glymphatic system. This is especially important in older adults, as poor sleep has been linked to cognitive decline and increased risk of Alzheimer's disease. Dr. Maiken Nedergaard, a Danish neuroscientist, has spent years researching this mechanism and emphasizes that uninterrupted, high-quality sleep is one of the most protective factors for long-term brain health. Sometimes addressing sleep naturally means addressing the environment around us. Older adults often sleep in rooms that are too warm, too noisy, or poorly ventilated. Lowering the bedroom temperature to around 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit, 15-19 degrees Celsius, using fans or air purifiers, and minimizing disruptive noises with earplugs or white noise machines can create a more sleep-conducive setting. A clean, clutter-free space also reduces anxiety, which is often a hidden factor in sleeplessness. And then there's the power of human connection. A 2018 study from the University of California found that loneliness in older adults is a major predictor of poor sleep. Those who maintained regular social engagement, whether through family, friends, or even pet companionship, were more likely to experience restful nights. One elderly woman, Elaine from Ontario, shared that after joining a small local art class, not only did her days feel more meaningful, but her nights became more peaceful. The shared laughter, the exchange of stories, the feeling of being seen, it all helped her mind to settle when her head hit the pillow. Natural sleep doesn't come from a pill. It comes from balance. Balance between light and dark, between movement and stillness, between stimulation and peace. It comes from listening to the body and making gentle, thoughtful adjustments that honor the reality of aging while nurturing the timeless human need for rest. There is no one-size-fits-all solution. Each person's sleep journey is unique, shaped by their history, health, and habits. But small steps taken patiently and consistently can lead to real transformation. Whether it's drinking a calming tea, stepping into morning sunlight, creating a peaceful bedtime routine, or simply holding the hand of someone who cares, the path to better sleep is not far away. It starts with the decision to try, to believe, and to trust that rest is still within reach. When sleep returns to the elderly, it's not just about longer nights. It's about brighter days. The smallest improvements can have profound ripple effects. A good night's sleep sharpens memory, improves mood, and reduces the risk of falls. It strengthens the immune system and gives the heart a much-needed rest. For older adults, sleep can mean the difference between a day spent engaging with the world and one spent exhausted in isolation. And while many assume medications are the only way to find rest, the truth is that nature has already given us tools, gentle, effective, and free, to help us sleep more deeply and wake more refreshed. Consider how our ancestors slept. Long before electric lights, buzzing notifications, or round-the-clock television, humans rose with the sun and slept under a dark sky. Their bodies were in tune with the Earth's rhythm. Today, older adults live surrounded by artificial light and endless noise. This disconnect has a significant impact. especially on aging bodies more sensitive to environmental changes. One of the most powerful choices you can make is to return to a rhythm that supports natural sleep. Simple decisions like dimming lights after sunset, avoiding late-night news, or taking quiet time instead of screen time can realign our internal clock. These are not just habits, they are acts of kindness to the nervous system. Sleep is a delicate balance between the brain, the heart, the hormones, and the emotions. When one is out of sync, the rest follow. That's why natural sleep support works best when it's holistic, not just a cup of herbal tea or a single walk in the sun, but a full approach to self-care. That could mean having calming music play each evening, or using a lavender-scented diffuser to create a sleep-friendly environment. Lavender, in fact, has been shown in several clinical studies to reduce heart rate and blood pressure, both of which contribute to better rest. In a 2020 randomized trial conducted in Italy, older participants who used lavender aromatherapy slept significantly longer and had fewer nighttime awakenings than those who did not. Sometimes the solutions are right under our noses, literally. But natural sleep is also about how we are spoken to and supported. One of the most overlooked sleep disturbances in older adults is the sense of being forgotten. When people stop asking how you've slept, when routines are dictated by caregivers instead of chosen by the individual, when the world grows quieter but the heart remains full of noise, sleep suffers. That's why respectful communication and emotional validation are just as important as diet and lighting. Caregivers, family members, and friends all have a role to play, listening patiently, helping maintain dignity, and allowing the elderly to express their fears and frustrations can lighten the emotional weight they carry to bed. Sometimes sleep also requires imagination, a gentle rewiring of the thoughts that come at night. Guided meditation and visualization practices have shown great promise in helping older adults release anxious thinking. Picture this: an 81-year-old man named Thomas in Sydney, Australia, who suffered from severe sleep anxiety for years, began listening to a nature-based meditation each night. He imagined walking through a forest with each breath, leaving behind his worries with each step. Within a month, his sleep improved by nearly 2 hours per night. That's the power of the mind when it is given a peaceful direction to follow. In the United Kingdom, researchers at King's College London conducted a study using mindfulness-based cognitive therapy to treat chronic insomnia in older adults. The results were promising. Those who practiced mindfulness techniques reported not only improved sleep quality, but also reduced symptoms of depression and anxiety. What this tells us is that sleep in old age is deeply connected to mental peace. If we nurture the mind, the body will follow. Sometimes all it takes is a few nights of real rest for the body to begin healing itself. Energy levels rise, appetite returns, and conversations become livelier. That spark, so often dulled by exhaustion, comes alive again. A grandmother finds the energy to attend her granddaughter's recital. A widower finds the clarity to begin journaling again. These small moments born from sleep grow into a renewed sense of purpose and life. If you or someone you love is struggling with sleep in later years, remember, nature's answers are gentle but powerful. They may take time and consistency, but they are rooted in what the body already knows. You don't need to fight your body. You just need to listen to it. Trust its cues, respect its pace. Provide it with the quiet, the warmth, the movement, the nutrition and the light it needs to do what it was designed to do: rest, restore, and heal. And if this video has spoken to you or reminded you of someone you care about, we invite you to join our growing community by subscribing to Elderly Health Path. Here we share compassionate, science-backed guidance designed to support well-being in later life. Every week we offer insights and stories to help make aging a little more graceful and sleep a little more peaceful. When you subscribe, you're not just clicking a button, you're joining a circle of care, of wisdom, and of hope, because no one deserves to lie awake night after night feeling alone. There is always something that can be done, some change, some new approach, some story that reminds us healing is possible. Let's keep learning together, growing together, and sleeping better one night at a time.